Hello everybody, welcome to the channel if you're new here, welcome back if you are not. It's Baby Jesus here with another gold making guide. And today's video is going to be a bit of a follow-up on our last one, in which we talked about and touched base on fire motes and their subsequent evolution or upgrade chain. And in today's video I'm going to show you guys a bit of a cool way to always be able to find holes in a market to be able to either maximize your gold that you're making, or instead just to be able to find items that are going to sell quickly. Now, before we get too far into the video, I do just want to say or ask, if you do find anything beneficial in this, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It really does help us out, and it doesn't cost you anything. On the other hand, though, if you don't like the video, please make sure to leave a comment down below on how I can improve on future content. Now, let's get right into it. And what do I mean by what I just said? Well, in the last video, I was talking to you guys on how to look at fire motes and see if they're actually worth selling on their own, or if it's worth going to the Arcana station and going to upgrade them into their subsequent level, which is the fire wisp. You guys can see here, $6.99 or 7 gold for argument's sake, as opposed to their mote counterpart, which is selling for 0.87, which times 5 is only about just over 4.25, 4.3 gold, roughly. Now, this can be used, if you haven't already figured it out, on any of the elements. So you can go through with the Arcana stuff, and you go through life, death, soul, fire, earth, air, and water, and always stay ahead of the curve and see what's selling, see what isn't selling, see what's overpriced or underpriced. And here's what I mean by this. So I made you guys a handy little list here of what things are looking like on my market right now. So this is a live view, I guess, on what motes or what Arcana items are selling for at this time on my market, and what you should be expecting whenever you're making a price or seeing if something is worth buying instead of going out to gather yourself. So from here, guys, all I did, and this is something that should be good to note if you are trying to sell these, is what the calculation is to go from a mote to a wisp, essence, quintessence, and how you should be able to calculate, or how you should be calculating the rough cost of each one. So all you have to do is you have to take the price of a life mote or any mote, multiply it by 5, and that would give you the cost of buying the mote with no additional fees. So if I want to buy 5 life motes, it would cost me 1.75 gold. But on my server, if I want to look at these right here, a life wisp is only selling for 1.89, which means that I would only be making a profit margin of 0.14 gold. Now, if you take into consideration 2 things here, there's going to be the cost to buy it on the market and then subsequently relist it, and there's also going to be the cost of crafting. So something that's very, very important to take into consideration is always going to be those 2 things. So if you're running very slim profit margins like that, or say, for example, like a death mote here, where it's selling for 0.8 on the market, which equates to 4 gold total to be able to buy the 5 wisps, all of a sudden, you're actually going to be losing money per wisp sold. Okay? So this is what I use whenever I'm going out to try and sell some of these motes or essences. And you guys can see, as opposed to my last video, I've made about 10 grand since. Somebody commented that I didn't have a lot of gold, and I just want to show you guys that I can go ahead and make a lot of gold if I wanted to. But I tend to keep my gold around the 30,000 just for my own personal preference. Now, use this and judge accordingly. So on my market, and this is actually really convenient, when I was making this list, I don't know if it's still a thing, there were no soul motes on the market, or soul wisps on the market, pardon me. There still aren't any. So using this formula, it should tell you that if you have soul wisps on you, or you're willing to go craft them, you have motes and you want to go get rid of them, and you're making them, you should be selling them based on the cost of a soul mote for no less than 545, or else you are losing gold as opposed to just selling the soul mote as is. Now, that's what we're all trying to calculate here, right? This cost is just as opposed to going ahead and selling the motes alone. Okay? Now, a couple things to keep in consideration here. One, you're not just going to try and break even. You want to try and make money. So you're probably going to be selling these at 7 gold a piece, because that's going to account for the crafting cost, the listing fee, the buying fee, etc. What's very nice, though, is if you are crafting it, guys, remember, you have that chance, that free chance to yield bonus items depending on your level of Arcana, and I'll touch base on that in a little bit. But that's just what I would use, guys. If I'm going to go sell these right now, if I had any, I believe I just sold mine, but if I were, make sure you're not listing them lower than this, or else you are literally losing gold off the hop if you're selling for less than that. You're better off just sell the motes and offload them faster. Now you guys can see here, what's really nice with this as well is this list or this calculation that you should be doing for yourself is going to tell you where's the best place to stop to sell these. Now, a perfect example of this would be life and death motes in this example. Now, why? Because if you were to stop at the life wisp or the death wisp tier, you are effectively losing money. There's not a big enough profit margin for you to be able to buy, craft, and relist with all the fees that are associated with doing so. However, if you are buying enough of these to then subsequently go and make your life essences or your death essence, you guys can see here, your profit margins are now substantial. So it may not be worth it at this tier, but if you're willing to buy additional motes or go farm them if you don't have the original gold to do so, then it's worth it to continue on to the essence stage, absorb the cost of crafting them, to then subsequently make an ungodly profit margin. Making 23 gold per unit is insane. Even this 14 gold per unit is crazy margins. Look at them in comparison to the others, and you can see here where the best margins lie, and it's heavily in the favor of life and then subsequently death. So, what do you do with this information? Well, you use this to find lapses in your market where things are abnormally priced for now. When I did my fire mote video, it was very much the fire motes that were abnormally priced, and take advantage of that. You guys can see here, very infrequently does the quintessence area or tier actually yield decent results. However, one anomaly here is soul quintessence. So you guys can see here, there's a profit margin of, I think 26, if math serves me right. But if you look at it at the essence tier, where most other ones are doing decently in terms of margins, the soul one is pretty small. It's pretty small. But once you go up to this one, again, you're going to need a lot. Your profit margin is going to skyrocket. Whereas if you look at life, you're losing gold. Death, you're making a fair amount, I guess. You're making 8 gold per unit. Fire, losing gold. Earth, losing gold. Air, losing gold. And water, making about 9 gold a unit. So, if you want really desperately to sell quintessence, go ahead and go for the soul ones. Don't just start evolving everything from essence onwards. So that's the information that I think is very, very interesting to take from this. And I wanted to show you guys a little example of what I meant by those free items. For those of you who might not know, you might be new to gold making, might be new to crafting Arcana items or items in general. Whenever you are a specific level, you do have a small bonus percentage chance of getting free items at the crafting station. And I'm going to just go buy some some motes, right now, just to give you guys a live example of how this takes place and how this can affect how much gold you can make. Now, a couple things I do want to note, guys. While this might be an attractive yield or an attractive profit margin, these might be attractive profit margins. The further down the list you go from mote to wisp to essence to quintessence, it's going to take longer to sell them. Now, there are some exceptions. Soul essence never stays on the market long, and fire essence either. I am going to be honest, I'm not entirely sure how long death and life take, but I've never had issues selling them. They just will take a little bit longer. So if you are buying all of this, you will be out gold for a decent amount of time as opposed to just selling here or directly at the mote level. But not to dissuade you or to discourage you from doing it. It's just something to keep in mind. If you're trying to make a quick buck, it might be better to sell the motes, but if you're willing to wait for it, essence might be worth it. Especially with all the trading posts being linked, you have very little to worry about listing them. It's just it might not be instantaneous. And one last thing, while this is an attractive margin, as are that life and death are both very, very attractive, something to note. Because they're attractive, other people will most likely notice. If you go ahead and make 1,000 of each of these, obviously unlikely, but possible, and you go and throw them on the market, it's going to tank the price. You are going to shoot yourself in the foot, and you're not going to be able to make the amount of gold that you could have. If you would just put these on at small increments at a time, you'll be able to make more gold. It'll be able to keep the price more stable and stagnant, and you'll be able to maintain that decent profit margin. Sure, it might drop a little bit the more items get put on the market, and more people catch on to this, but it's just something that you need to be aware of. And this is the same for any item. If you just go and flood the market with stone because stone is a good price right now, you are going to tank the price, and you're going to hurt yourself in the long run. All right. So for this example, after having done the calculations, I know that if I buy life motes and I go to the essence tier, I'm going to make a wicked good profit margin. So I need to buy at least 20 motes to be able to make 1 life essence. So we're going to go onto the market right now, and we're going to go buy these. We're going to go buy life motes, and this guy's got 29 of them. We're going to buy them up right now. You guys see there's a 47-cent fee on buying 29 of them. Okay, so we can take a note of that. So I'm going to actually physically take a note of that. There's a 47 cents. From here, we're buying another 80, so now we're up over 100, which means we have enough to make 5 life essence. There's another 133 fee. We're going to buy those. And we're going to buy the next big bundle here, 148 of them at 35 cents. So we can see here there's another 247 fee. We're going to buy them up, and we're going to go over, and we are going to go make our wisps and subsequently our essence from these, okay? Now, if you guys are wondering what city I'm in Windsward. Now, you can definitely min-max, go to cities that have lower crafting or purchasing fees, trading post fees, and that will obviously help your gold making abilities, but because we had such large profit margins, we don't need to be that stingy in regards to the fees, because they aren't going to cut into our profit margins too much. Now, we are going to come here, and we know that we bought the motes, so we want to go straight to the wisp tier. So, life wisps, you guys see we have 257 of them. That's everything we bought. I didn't have any on hand, which means we can make 51 of these. And you guys can see I'm level 114 in Arcana, and I have an 11% chance to make free items. Okay? So, what we're going to do is we're going to go here, and we're going to make them. But first, we're going to take a look at this. There's a 6 gold and 44-cent fee associated with crafting these. And I will add all those up afterwards. And we're just going to go ahead and craft them. Now, remember, I bought enough to make 51, which means that subsequently we're going to divide whatever number we get here. By 4. So 51 divided by 4 is going to tell us how many essence we can make subsequently. So we are going to go here, and you guys can see here, I got 6 free ones, which is enough to make a free essence, which is going to sell for 30 gold. So I got 30 gold for free. Okay, so effectively, all of my crafting fees and subsequently my listing fee most likely is going to be covered just by that one free item we got. Okay, so now we're going to go, and we are going to go this way, and we're going to go essence. Life essence, we have enough, 57 with that free one, to go ahead and make 14 of these. Okay, the crafting fee of this is going to cost us 4 gold and 42 cents. All right, we're just going to go craft these right now. And we know that this is the sweet spot of where we want to stop. Okay, very, very important to notice that, because if you go and make these quintessence, you've effectively shot all of your profits right in the foot. You are done. You're not making any gold with this based on our handy dandy list here, right? We know this is where we want to stop. This is our sweet spot. If we go here, all of a sudden we've lost 4 gold per unit crafted. Okay, and you guys can see here we got a bonus life essence, which means effectively we've gotten 2 life essences for free, which is a free 60 gold. All right, so we now have 15 of those. So all in, we're going to go this way, and we're going to go back to the market, and we can see we have 15 of them. We know they're selling at 3 gold a piece, which means that's enough for 450 gold in no time. And we're just going to go this way. We want to see what our crafting fees are. Okay, we know that, our listing fees, pardon me. We're going to go this way. We're going to go essence. And we're going to scroll down to life essence. Did I pass it? I did. And we're going to put a sell order. You see it's selling for 30, pardon me. And we're going to go like this. We're going to list all of them. No, I have 15. I only made 15. Apparently I had some more on hand. So we're not going to sell them all. We're only going to sell the ones that we just made. And you're going to see here there's an 8 gold listing fee. So, all in, we have our base costs of buying the wisps. Plus, if I do some quick math for you guys here, we had a 47-cent fee. So, we had a total of 23 gold in fees. So, you guys can see here, we started with a 0.47. Oh, where the heck am I here? What the heck? Okay, doesn't matter. So we have 0.47 here, plus 133, which is our original purchase cost, purchase fee, and purchase fee. And then we had a 644 crafting fee. We then subsequently had a 442 crafting fee. And lastly, we had an $8 or 8 gold 0.01 listing fee. So 23 gold in various fees for these essences. Okay. Now, keep in mind, we got 2 for free, which means we had 60 gold for free, which still means we are ahead by 34 gold right off the hop because of those free ones we got. Now, we list these. They won't take long to sell. You guys can see, never go with these buy orders. We're going to post them up, and they will not take long to sell, I promise you. So, that's it, guys. You can do this. Keep your calculations, keep your items or your notes handy, and see where the changes lie or where the sweet spots are. Again, you guys can see we'll make a good amount of gold from these. I'm not concerned. If you find this hops up too much based on the cost of your life motes, remember everything relies back to these, just switch to something else. Or maybe go up a tier or down a tier. If you're going for the soul motes, again, it might be something worth taking a look at. And if you were to get, when you're crafting, say for example, a free quintessence whilst crafting, you've made yourself a free 91 gold. Just keep in mind, they'll take longer to sell. All right, guys, I hope that helped you out. If it did, please make sure to leave a comment down below letting me know. Please consider hitting the subscribe button. It really does help us out. And I hope to be able to bring you guys some more valuable information in the future. Thank you guys so much. Have a great day. Take care of yourselves. Be safe. Be kind. And I will see you all in the next one. See ya.